And we're Center.
I'm Lonnie.
I'm Murray.
This is Viewer's Verdict.
And today we're talking about A Quiet Place.
It was a really good movie. To me, it was less horror and more suspense. Mm-hmm. Not a spoiler at all. The bad monsters, they're basically giant ears.
But I think the use of them was so well designed.
Oh yeah.
I think it was really well done, and especially because, like you said, it's a suspense. I would almost say sci-fi suspense, or even a sci-fi horror. The tension is so much; it gets you on the edge of your seat. You know.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen.
Exactly right. And I love the use of sound in this movie.
Oh yeah, it was
the absence
really
of sound. Is because there's times where you don't even hear the white noise, and the white noise is taken out.
I feel like that was the deaf daughter, who was played by a deaf actress.
Right.
Anytime you kind of went into her world, there was no sound at all, absolute silence, which doesn't exist for the average person in the normal world. There's always something.
Right.
So, and especially once they kind of show you how to defeat the monsters. But her being deaf doesn't know that there's monsters around necessarily.
Right.
No, it's not that she doesn't know there are monsters around. It's that if one comes up behind her and she can't see it, she can't hear it. And it is true that the sound is that is what makes this movie effective. Is they use the sound to put you in the character's place. But they cut to that close up and you hear what the character hears.
Yeah.
And that. For her, that obviously is an absence of sound, or there's the buzz or the screeching, depending on the hearing aid she's using. But they use the sound for the other characters to help you get into their heads.
Right, yeah.
And so John Krasinski really did an outstanding job with this.
Oh,
yes, director, co-writer,
and star.
Yeah. He was fantastic. I've really only seen him in comedies, but he's now transferring over to more of a drama, and I was a little nervous, but he's quite good.
He's picking a lot of projects too, where even the little things, he's associating much more with the common person than he is with the Hollywood elites. And I guess you could even see a little bit of that in the fact that this was not one of the big studio movies. This was...
It was produced by Michael Bay, but it was
a collaboration of a couple of independent film companies.
It's just, this movie was so good, and especially with like the different metaphors of parenthood. At the end,
don't spoil it. No.
Don't.
All right. But let's just say that I love it. It's just
let's just say that the story is about what parents will do for their children, and the love parents have for their children.
There was a few times where I had tears, like in this movie. Like I was just so into the story. It's so good.
You know, I was a little bit nervous coming in because I had heard that it's called A Quiet Place, obviously. So I didn't know about how they were going to communicate. They mostly communicated by sign language, which did get the point across perfectly.
Right.
Especially in their situation.
Right.
Yeah, the only thing that I was kind of questioning was some of the moments where the characters experience literal pain or physical harm.
Right.
Of course, they can't scream. So that was the only thing that really took me out of it. But besides that, I was in those characters' shoes. I loved the...
I was going to say, though, the other thing is you've never taken 470 days of silence. So I think
very true.
I think that it would be more interesting to see if there's a study on someone who's been silent that long and how they respond to things in their environment, if it affects the subconscious and not just the conscious.
Right. Yeah.
It affects urges and how you subconsciously or without thinking respond to things.
Right. Because personally, that didn't take me out of it. I figured, like you said, like I would figure, like after so much time, you just kind of adjust by being quiet, regardless if you get pain or what have you. Now, time to hear our verdicts. Murray, what did you say?
You gotta see it in theaters. You see it in a dark room on that big screen. You definitely pay for it. This is pay to see this one in theaters. It's a very effective movie. It's a great story. Good moral, good themes to it, and the suspense works.
Bonnie?
Yeah, I'm gonna say
I think definitely see it in theaters. This movie is one that you need to experience with a full crowd. I know I did on my night when I saw it, and everyone. I've never been to a movie theater so quiet because everyone was in this story. Everyone was absolutely silent. I love that. I definitely say see it in theaters. Pay to see it in theaters.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say see it in theaters. Pay to see it, but for me it was one of those movies. It was great while I was watching it. The big screen, you really need a serious sound system because obviously the whole movie is based on sound. So that would be the main reason that I say see it in theaters is for the surround sound. But I think it's a great movie. It was suspenseful and everything. But once you've seen it for me. So that's why I was kind of on the fence of see it in theaters and see it for free. So yeah, that's my verdict.
All right. That pretty much wraps up this review. I'm Arsenio.
I'm Lonnie.
I'm Murray.
This is Viewer's Verdict.